set of steps that the doctors and our athletic trainer go through with him. So he's in the middle of that process, and he has not been ruled out for the game, but he certainly it has not been determined that he's going to play either. Well, he's again gone through a protocol, put in place by our doctors and our athletic trainer, which it's a series of concussion testing. He saw a team physician at the Naval Academy on Friday night, and according to Eddie Binion, our athletic trainer, that physician felt like Jaquan checked out neurologically, and he's again, we have multiple doctors here at VCU that are working with Eddie and Jaquan and just going through the process. There's baseline testing that they do with all of our guys, with all athletes in the off season, so everything's compared to that. They've got a terrific team. They won 27 games last year and only lost one key player off of that team. So they have 7 of their top 8 players back. Really multi-dimensional offensive team. Can score in a lot of different ways. They've got several guys that really have versatile games. In terms of style of play, they run a lot of great stuff on offense, some terrific screening action where it's multiple different types of screens and cuts. So you got to really be on edge defensively and ready to defend that stuff. Defensively, they'll press some. I don't think quite as much as Tennessee did, but we'll see some pressure. They've got good athletes. They've got good size. Their starting center Booth is 6'9". Their starting power forward, Weatherspoon's a transfer from Ohio State, very athletic. Got our guys' attention pretty quickly when they saw some of his highlights. Their best player is a young man named Julius Juice Brown, who is one of the best guards I've seen on tape. Just a terrific player, very composed, under control, gets in the lane, but can really shoot. A terrific free throw shooter. And then they've got a kid named John Williams that they play at shooting guard. Was on the all-rookie team last year in the Mid-American Conference. He's a sophomore and is really good. Just a versatile player. Also can play the point for them if he needs to. And then a kid named Drummond who plays small forward that is a great slasher, very athletic, good size, good strength. They'll post up those guys at the 2 and the 3, which is a little different than what we normally see. So really good personnel, well coached, and an experienced team that knows how to win. Well, there's a lot of benefits, I think, to playing good competition, but it also means it's not going to be easy. I think the benefits are, it can expose you to, where you really are in certain areas. You can get away with certain mistakes when you play lesser competition, but a team like Toledo, you can't get away with those same mistakes. Obviously, so much is based on strength of schedule in college basketball, so that's another benefit. And then, I think for everyone involved, players, coaches, fans, people want to see good basketball games, and people want to play in good basketball games, and this is going to be a challenging game. Well, it's never enough. I'd love to play those guys 40 minutes because, we heard LeBron say the other night, we've been showing our guys a lot of LeBron's comments after the games, and he was talking about one of their rookies, and he said experience is the best teacher, and that's exactly right for those guys. So would like to play those guys more for experience reasons and because they're going to be really good. But it all depends on the matchup and the opponent. You know, Tennessee created some certain unique challenges in that they're playing 4 perimeter guys, so it behooves us to play 4 perimeter guys. The 5-man they had out there for half the game was 290 pounds. Justin's 205. So, you know, there's certain things, and that happens when you play good teams. As I told those 4 freshmen yesterday, for the first time in your life now, it's not so much about can you score, it's about who are you going to guard, who are you going to defend. But those guys have a bright future. We're going to try to keep getting those guys as many minutes as we can because I think it'll pay dividends for us later in the year. Man, it's not so much about confidence. Those guys, we'll keep working with them in terms of that. But you got to walk a fine line in terms of you're trying to win the game. You know what I mean? But like I said, for experience purposes, the best thing to do, if it was just about their development, would be to play them 25 minutes. But again, you're trying to win the game. You've got other guys that have earned playing time, and you know you have a whole team to focus on. Did some good things. I thought he played with good energy. Obviously helps when he makes a couple shots. I think he was 2 for 4 from outside. Made a couple plays in the press. He, like several other guys, fouled too much, but I liked his activity, and you know, Doug's a guy that can help us. We just got to keep getting him better. It still remains to be seen. I mean, he's certainly made progress overall as a player and on the defensive end. But it all comes down to discipline for him. You know, can he defend with discipline? He comes from a background before he got here where it was all about gambling and, you know, an all-or-nothing play where either you get a steal or your man gets an open shot. And, you know, we felt like once he made the adjustment discipline-wise that he could be a really good defender. It's taken a little bit longer than maybe we hoped, but he has made some progress, and I would assume that was probably a career high in terms of minutes, you know, in his first game. Now, some of that had to do with Briante's out of the game, Jaquan was out of the game, other guys were in foul trouble. But that's how it works. You get opportunity, you need to make the most of it. I think there'll still be some jitters and some excitement. I mean, excitement and anxiety are on the same continuum. So sometimes you can't have one without the other. But you want to be down on the end of the continuum near excitement. So it's all about having what we call approach goals, which are goals that you go after. Anxiety comes from avoidance goals, where you don't want something to go wrong. So we just got to stay aggressive and stay approach goal-oriented and focus on the process. You just got to adjust in the game. And, you know, it's actually a little more complicated than you might think, in that because of our depth on a normal night where everyone's available. Obviously, the Tennessee game was a little different. Maybe if they're calling it tight, it might be to our advantage, you know, just depending on the opponent. Usually, the fouls have a way of evening themselves out, usually. So, you know, if we can play 11 guys and another team, we're not talking about Toledo, but just another opponent can only play 8, then, you know, if 2, 3 guys on each team are in foul trouble, advantage goes to us. But certainly we don't want to foul that much. We don't want to put good free throw shooting teams at the line. I think we had 28 fouls. Tennessee had 34. Is that right, Scott? Of our 28, I would say at least half of them very avoidable, things that we can fix, but no different than previous years early in the season. Well, he's been a part of our program. He was here for half a year 2 years ago, and last year he was a valuable member of our program. So this is, you know, in essence, his 3rd year, and so he really knows what we want. His teammates really like him. He plays hard. He can play really good on the ball defense. So there's nobody on our team that we're scared to put in the game. I mean, we played everyone against Tennessee, and you know, that's why guys are on the team. You know, you want guys that you can put in the game if you need them. And it was just a unique situation. I've never really coached a game like that where, you know, for different reasons, all three of our point guards that on a normal night would play the 40 minutes at the point position were unavailable. So you can't cancel the game at that point. You got to adjust and react. I thought Trey did a really good job of kind of manning the point and running the team and playing extended minutes. I mean, he was – I thought his awareness was really good in that – I mean, he was going back and forth from like 4 different positions at different points in the game, and he did a good job of keeping his head. Well, it's good to have Briante back either way. Briante's second best player on our team, so regardless of anything else, and defensively, he makes such an impact on everything that we do. We're just a different team when he's in the game on defense versus when he's not in the game. So it's great to have him back.